Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we're doing the second ever account review on our channel for Noob. He is in server 298 and he told me that he's made some mistakes along the way and he's trying to correct all of them, but overall, taking a brief look at his account, I think he's doing pretty well. I want to begin these videos by taking a look at the season growth path because we can get an idea from that where he stands in relation to his district. Based on his resonating level, he's almost top 50 in the district, which is really good. Season AFK stage is top rank 44. When your season AFK stage is higher than your resonance level, it means you've been doing well to push AFK stages. You're even doing better than average of the district, and then Legend Trial is also really good. So that's a really good thing to see. The first thing we're going to look at is his Dream Realm heroes. And the good thing is most of the heroes needed to be developed for Dream Realm are built on his account. But the problem is Korin is the only one which doesn't have his exclusive equipment upgraded enough. And I can see he's working on it right now. And as soon as hopefully you get the title essences, you can take him up to +5 and then take him to +8 with temporal essences. The key place to reach for Korin is going to be +8. Of exclusive equipment upgrading, because he will gain the maximum stack gains by doing that, and getting him to beyond that with his Mythic Plus is only going to be valuable for enemies who don't have a high amount of max HP, because for enemies who have a high amount of max HP, you're still going to be capped at 40% of your attack, and so the 2.5% compared to 2% is not going to make a difference. And in bosses, they have a huge amount of max HP, and so you're always going to be capped at that 40% attack on that skill for true damage, so you do not need to get him to +10. And like my Korin is +8 and totally functional. I want to briefly go over the mythical magic charms, because his Merrily have the ones I recommend for her. But Korin, he will need to get them. He doesn't have them available right now. And I choose the haste one once you have these unlocked. And this is the other second recommended one because it gives you attack speed. But the thing about 5 haste, it provides you, if you read the description of what haste provides, it provides exactly 5% attack speed, as well as on top of that 5% faster skill casting. And I think the skill casting is also like why it is a bit better than even 8% attack speed. So that is basically it. Once you get Korin built up, you have Smokey as a support, he has Coco as a support, both are Supreme Plus, and really they only need Mythic Plus. He has a Rainier at Mythic Plus, and this was one, so this is the major mistake I see on the account. I think he was trying to at one point get Rainier to Supreme Plus, and I think a lot of people have made this mistake thinking that they want to max him out, he'll help you do better in Dream Realm, but it just isn't worth it. His Supreme Plus skill is not important enough, and so I would not recommend going for any more copies into him. 3 more copies is still really expensive, and you could use that to build up another Celestial Hypogean to Mythic Plus, which is going to help your account a lot more. So leave Rainier where he is. We all make mistakes on our account, and just try to work and save your resources to build another Celestial Hypogean hero. Now, as for building another Celestial Hypogean hero, he's kind of building both Scarlita and Freyasto. I would recommend Scarlita because I think she's the best PvP hero and has some Dream Realm uses, although Freyasto has even more Dream Realm uses than Scarlita currently, but we don't know what the future will hold in terms of Dream Realm bosses, and so that is why I feel like Scarlita might be a little bit more future-proof and more protected against being power crept. But either way, for right now, just save up all your resources. If we take a look at your guild coins, save up all your guild coins until you have enough to immediately max out to Mythic Plus one of these heroes. Because in the meantime, there's no benefit of buying a copy one at a time. And there will be new Celestial Hypogeans coming out, so within 2-3 months, a new one may be released, which is much more game-changing for your account. And if you have saved them all of these resources up, you can just go for that hero instead of one of these. So basically, right now, my opinion is save and wait and see. If there's nothing to game-changing release by the time you get enough to get one of these to Mythic Plus, I would say Scarlita. But Freyasto is totally a fine option as well. Now, looking at the other heroes for Dream Realm, he has a Temesia built up at Supreme Plus, which is what everyone should be shooting for because of her role in Necrodraken and even in the Snow Stomper. And he has a Smokey and the Coco, both at Supreme Plus. They only need Mythic Plus for their effectiveness, but that is fine. That is even better. And the only other hero that I'm seeing here that I use in my top scoring teams, I don't use Ludovic because I haven't built him. And Ludovic mainly shines with Talene, and he doesn't have Talene on the account built up. So I would not recommend maybe going more into Ludovic, but Floribel, I would try to keep on your wish list and try to get her to Supreme Plus and eventually upgrade her exclusive equipment, because I'm using her in the Snow Stomper Dream Realm boss, and she's also useful in PvP. So I think that could be one thing that you focus. We'll take a look at your wish list at the end of the video and try to refine that, but that is something. Now the other thing to keep in mind, because he has quite a lot of Supreme Pluses, I just want to count them: 5, 6, 12, 15, 20. He already has 20 Supreme Pluses, and Granny, Lucius, Parissa, Sylvina, and then one more is probably pretty close to Supreme Plus. Once you hit 25 Supreme Pluses, you will unlock Paragon. So for his account, it will be a bit of a priority to optimize the wish list, beginning to collect copies for Paragon. Now, I can definitely understand, like, you want to finish key heroes to Supreme Plus before getting Paragon, but if the hero is purchasable in the Arena Store, I'll recommend not keeping on your wish list and trying to get it from the Arena Store, and then using your recruitment list to only hit those heroes which are only obtainable from the recruitment, and especially if they want a Paragon upgrade. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at his Dream Realm performance recently. I think the major problem will be if any team relies on Korin, he will have a difficult time competing. But for example, yesterday, he was able to rank 30th in the district, but on the other 2 days, 80th and 60th, and probably because these were teams which relied on Korin, because his overall heroes are really well developed for Dream Realm, except for Korin. So Korin is going to allow you to maybe hold a top 10 ranking position on some days of your server, and hopefully top 50 of the district, because your resonating level is almost top 50 of the district. I think if you can just get Korin to +8 exclusive equipment, then that can be really good for you. Now let's take a look briefly at your arena team, and I will give you my overall recommendation based on my experience, what I think the best team you could put together is. So you have kind of a stall team going on here, but the problem with stall is usually if you're going to run this team, you're going to want to have a damage threat like Scarlita, Talene, some sort of hero which can finish off the entire enemy field, and here Arden is the main only form of damage, and I don't think that's going to be enough. So I would probably just try to go for the standard Iron Nuke team with Carolina, because you have all these heroes at Supreme Plus, and if you could get Carolina and Damien to +10 exclusive equipment and +8 exclusive equipment on Thorin just for the stat increases, because we don't care about his skill upgrade, but we kind of want it on these two heroes, then I think this can be a very effective team. Your positioning is really good because they cannot Rainier swap anyone in this position, and if someone was going to play a Vala here, it would originally, the mark would go on to Damien and then move to Carolina, and Carolina has a factual advantage over Vala, and if she's soul pacted and protected, it would be good. So I think this is a team I would run. I know you do have Vala OD, and you can put together some double comp teams with Vala and OD, but from my experience, I think a team like this will hold against the most number of offenses that people are going to attack you with. And Haywin is definitely also a replacement option for either Damien or Arden if you want to, and you have her well built up. But I think Haywin will really shine when you have like a Celestial Hypogean threat like Scarlita built up. Then Haywin's stall teams do really well. Okay, so I will save the formation because this is what I recommend for right now. Let's take a look at your Supreme Arena. What type of rankings are you holding? Okay, rank 28 is really good. Are you normally able? I think you're normally shooting for the top 50, it seems like. And that is a really good place for you because you're the top 50 of the district. If you can do top 50 of Supreme Arena, that is really strong. So I want to see, where is your Arden team? Okay, now in the Raging Duel with the multiple consecutive damage, you will want to run the Arden team. But here is really where you want to run a full crowd control oriented team to try and lock down the opponents. Or you can run a Mauler team. Both are good options, and I've actually been running my Mauler team with Coco in the back here, and because you have Shakir built up, I want to try that. So I'm going to remove all the heroes here, and we're going to change the lineups. So I'm going to try what I've been using recently, and it's going to be Coco with the Cascade spell. And I've been getting some wins and holding even top 5 of Supreme Arena with this type of lineup. And where is Coco? Coco is here. Coco is a really strong PvP hero. Do not underestimate her. And yeah, Shakira and Odie. Now your Shakira is not at plus 10 exclusive equipment, so this will not be as effective as it can be, but still, he is a strong hero, and he will tank the front line well once he's in his wolf form. And you have this whole Mauler plus double threat comp with Vala and Odie. It's pretty difficult to deal with, and the whole idea behind Cascade Spell, it will charge up Coco's ultimate quickly so she can cast her ultimate, and even then, if the opponent can stack their rage before you, it will buy your team more time of protection to get your rage stacks up and continue killing off the enemy. So I really like this sort of Coco strategy in Raging Duel, because it makes it so that even if someone can stack before you, as long as you can get off your Coco ultimate, you have more time until you need to get your stacks up. Okay, now here we can run like the crowd control oriented team, and it will definitely be Carolina, Arden, and Iron. Elsa can also be used in a team like this for crowd control, maybe in the place of Carolina, but because his Carolina is more built up than Elsa, I'm gonna go for the Carolina here, and Damien is a good option. And then finally, it can be Thorin, but I'm thinking I want to save Thorin for like a stall type team in the final one. The final team, but I'm not sure who else are we going to be using in that stall team. Because we don't have very many options. Because here we could definitely be running Granny. We could run Granny here. Okay, I have an idea for the final team, but I don't know how well it's going to do. So a team like this can be pretty decent. And Vala will mark the target over here usually. If she's placed in one of these tiles, and Carolina will have the factional advantage. And in teams like this, I like to go for the lightning spell, because then Arden will not be able to be crowd controlled. And then for the final team, we want to do Thorin. Because you have Cassidy, Tamesia, Rowan, I'm going to try a team like this maybe, and then Haywin as a final hero. Because here we do have some damage threats. We want to try and protect the Cassidy. So what can happen here is Vala will either mark the Haywin or the Tamesia, because these are the furthest away heroes, and both of them are fine to take the mark. Especially Tamesia would be happy taking the mark. You can also try something like Rainier in this team, especially in this zone, because a lot of people are going to have to position heroes here, and if they don't, it's going to be awkward for them. And Rainier can get a valuable swap, although not necessarily swapping Haywin would be great for your team. And I think Cassidy can contribute a little bit more to damage. So I would probably go for something like this with the confining spell on stall oriented teams is pretty good. And you can see how this works. You can even try replacing Rowan for Korin if you want. But yeah, you get the factional synergy here. You have pretty good stalling, and definitely I can see how this team could kill some things, but it doesn't have a major damage threat. Like ideally you would want to have some Scarlita or Teline, some type hero in this stall team, or even Floribel eventually, but I think Floribel is not built up enough that I would just try a team like this and see how it works. It definitely can stall out the opponent, which can be a way that you win as well, if they are not able to kill your entire team. So you can try these teams for Supreme Arena. If we take a look at your... So we're done with Supreme Arena, Arena's done, Dream Realm. We've talked about the Korin pretty much, and that should be most of the things covered. Now we have to take a look at the hero wish list. So let's just refresh ourselves of the different heroes he has on his account right now. Granny, so Granny you should be buying from the Arena shop, and especially because you're close to getting Paragon upgrades. Now the heroes which are obtainable in the Arena shop, you should be purchasing them. And your wish list should be reserved only for the recruitable heroes. And are there any other key heroes here which need to be built up? Eventually Almas, but... so you could put Almas on your wish list to try and build them up. He's pretty viable in PvP. Frissa, Sylvina, Granny, Lucius, they're all close to Supreme Plus. Elsa should be on your wish list. She is a strong hero. And maybe Floribel as well should be on your wish list. Okay, let's take a look at your current wish list, both of your epic recruitment and your all-hero recruitment. So for epic recruitment, no, we don't want Granny or Igor, or we don't want these heroes here. They're all obtainable in the Arena shop. And in the long run, it's going to be much better for you if you only put heroes which are obtainable here only. Now, the thing is, do we have extra copies of Okay, Elsa, I guess you have the maxed out copies of her and you're just trying to put heroes here which you don't have, but the thing is you're very close to Supreme Plus upgrades on your account. You need to be focusing Paragon, and this is the thing, I think, because when a hero is maxed you think it's not a good idea to put it here, but still keep it here. You will get these other heroes through the arena store, it's just a matter of time, and the other heroes are not too crucial for your account anyway. Like, Brutus is pretty good in Supreme Arena, Igor can be good, but you have enough options that you don't even need to be using them. So this is what is going to be my recommendation. The key heroes for PvP. Elsa definitely will want to probably keep getting, and Paragon Ascension. Floribel as well will want to get her to Supreme Plus because she currently isn't there. I can understand Granny to get Granny there a little bit faster, but still I really think you need to be buying them from the arena store. So I'm going to be putting the other heroes here. Now, you'll have to choose between Vala, Carolina, Shakir. All of these are PvP heroes. All of them will want Paragon 1, but the question is which one are you going to be, which one will help you out the most on your account? Now, I like Carolina the most. I think out of the three, she is the strongest. She's really good in the Iron Nuke team, and even if not in that team, she's good in any crowd control oriented team. She's a good PvP hero. So I would do a wish list like this. But you can change this, you have the ability, you can change this as well if you don't want to focus so hard onto Paragons, but in my opinion that is what should be done here. Okay, so you're trying to build up Walker because he did have some uses in the Legend Trials of this season. However, it was mainly for his seasonal skill. I don't know if he'll be useful in the future, but that being said, your Korin and Merrily are pretty much maxed. They don't need to be taken to Paragon, so it's fine if you begin investing in these, but you could also go for example, Merrily here and try to get her Paragon. But Lucius definitely keep her until Supreme Plus. He is a good hero overall. Here I would go for, definitely you need to at least go for Paragon Ascension onto Odie and choose between either Satrana or Seth as the other slot, or even go for Paragon Ascension into Coco, because both Coco and Odie are pretty viable PvP heroes. Any viable PvP hero will want that Paragon Ascension to make them more effective in that area. Okay, so Reese you do not have upgraded either. Reese is a hero only obtainable from the shop, or only obtainable from recruitment, so you can keep him on your wish list, but honestly I think Brutus will provide more value to your account, but so you can decide to change that if you want. And here, okay, I'm fine with you putting Atlanta here because basically, Tamisia is not a key PvP hero. You don't care about her Paragon Ascension. And the other two heroes in Atlanta, they're all obtainable from the arena shop, so you can keep her here until Supreme Plus. That I'm fine with that. And I understand your strategy is trying to get many Supreme Pluses, but I really think that you should prioritize Paragon a little bit right now and just buy the other heroes from the arena shop. Because with your active play, you will get all of those heroes maxed out as well. And that is going to be better for your account. So Floribel, I want to keep here definitely. Granny, I want to keep Iron here. Even though Granny is really close to being upgraded, Iron is such a key PvP hero. You'll want him to have Paragon eventually. And for the long run, this will just be better for your account. And Carolina as well, honestly, I think should be here. She's a very key PvP hero. We're even putting her in the epic recruitment. So yeah, Viperion is not a key hero, it's fine to have both of these. And once Sylvina is maxed, keep her here and even get her to Paragon because she is a key PvP hero. Okay, now Pris is almost Supreme Plus, fine. You can keep both of these here. When Pris is at Supreme Plus, swap her out for Damien. Damien is the key, one of the best PvP heroes in the game. You'll want to get him Paragon. Don't go for Leica, it isn't that important. Like, Leica is only important really for diurnal hypercarry teams, and even in that, she is not a necessary option. So for right now, this is what my wish list recommendation will be, and I know it has a lot of maxed out heroes for Paragon, but I think this is the way that it should be because the other heroes are purchasable from the arena store, and your number one priority should be Granny from the arena store. She is the most important hero for your account that will help you in the Supreme Arena. You bought Igor this time, or this month, and also I don't recommend buying the Stellar Crystals because if you don't buy these Stellar Crystals, you're going to have the ability to buy probably 2 more copies, maybe even 3 more copies of a hero in each month. And it's a guaranteed S-level hero. And for these Stellar Crystals, you need to buy 40 of them for a guarantee, and that is equal to 5 copies of an S-level hero. So I do not recommend the Stellar Crystals. Buy the heroes from the arena shop, get Granny up to Supreme Plus, 2 more copies of her. That's the number one priority from this shop. And then begin getting Brutus and Igor to Supreme Plus. That is your priority for the shop. Don't worry about Brian, he is not an important hero. And Lamont, Brian, Atlanta. leave them. Atlanta's on your wish list, but these 3 leave. Do not be buying them from the shop. But anyway, guys, that is going to be it for this video. Now, for the Dream Store, what I recommend is buy the... Yeah, you're buying Damien. But I would keep buying Damien, even though he's Supreme Plus. Try to get him to Paragon, because he's going to be the first A-level hero you want to hit at Paragon. Or the other option is you begin buying heroes from here, which are going to allow you to get Supreme Plus, so that you can get Paragon unlocked faster, because you're very close to Paragon on your account. So anyway, guys, that is going to be it for my recommendations on this video. Just want to make sure that the wish list was saved. Okay, so I went back and I saved the wish list which I recommended, but I will message you as well and let you know that if you want to change it back, that is fine. But in my opinion, this is how I would do it on your account to try and optimize for Paragon copies, because you're going to be hitting that point where you will just want to get Paragon heroes on your account, and you can leave the heroes which are not purchasable in the arena store. You can just buy them from there if you're really interested in them. And yeah, so that is going to be important for your gameplay and competing higher in Supreme Arena and regular arena by getting the Paragon copies, because when Paragon is unlocked, honestly, that becomes the next goal in the game. There's not much more to do. Like, maxing out the other heroes is not going to really benefit you that much. Like, for example, Brian, and if I had Dumont built up, I would hardly be using anywhere in the PvP sense. And so it wouldn't really be and even Atlanta. But I can understand you wanting to get all these heroes of Supreme Plus with new seasonal skills. They could be viable, but personally I think this is a pretty good compromise for the wish list. So hopefully this was helpful for all of you guys, and let me know what you thought. And if you guys want me to do a review of your account, you can let me know. You can send me an email, or you can message me on Discord. My ID for Discord and my email address will be in the description of this video. But that is going to be pretty much it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now, and thank you for watching.